I ain't asking. My family and I find ourselves in an interesting situation. I'm going to tell you something my mother told me. Ma'am, I get your point, ma'am. All right, ma'am, let's go. After almost 7 years, 3 epic shows, and even more to come, it is impossible not to get confused about Yellowstone's Duttons and their complicated family tree. Their legacy is full of triumphs, tragedies, and, of course, a deep, unshakable bond with the land. From their roots in the late 1800s to the present day, the Duttons have endured wars, heartbreak, and betrayals, all while holding on to their ranch in Montana. And now that they have lost the ranch for good and ended this legacy for real this time, it is time to break down the Dutton family tree by generation. I promise you, this one will be a wild ride. First generation. The Dutton family story begins with James Dutton and his wife Margaret, who are at the heart of 1883. I bet some of you are still tearing up thinking about how they lost their lovely daughter, Elsa. Their journey wasn't just about settling on land, it was about survival. After the Civil War, James, who was a Confederate soldier, and Margaret headed west to find a new beginning in 1883. With this seemingly simple move, they kicked off the Dutton family story that would last for more than a century. Let's get to know this first generation of Duttons better. As I mentioned, James is the real tough guy in this story. After seeing the horrors of war, he leaves Tennessee to build a life in the untamed West. He's not just a soldier, he's also a protector, a provider, and a man of principles. His bond with his family is what keeps him going. Margaret, on the other hand, is the ultimate matriarch. She's been through loss, heartache, and hardship, yet she never wavers, not even once. She has that fierce, protective energy, especially for her children, Elsa, John, and later on, Spencer. It's clear from the get-go that Margaret is just as tough as her husband, and together they make a formidable pair. No wonder the Duttons survived so long and became one of the most influential families in Montana for decades. With such ancestors, it is impossible to fail. Elsa, whose voice we continue to hear in every single Yellowstone series, is their sole daughter, and honestly, her story is one of the most heartbreaking in the Dutton saga. She's the one who inspires James to settle in Montana after her tragic death. To this day, her spirit continues to protect the ranch. Elsa's death is brutal, but it also sets the Duttons on the path to the land that becomes their legacy. Her spirit haunts every decision the family makes. Now, in this generation, there is also Claire Dutton, who is James's sister. But we are not big fans of her on this channel. Just know that she decided to take her own life after losing her only daughter, which ended her legacy. Who is your favorite first-generation Dutton? Let me know in the comments. Second generation. What happened after this first generation of Duttons died? Who can be considered the second generation of Duttons? After the loss of James, the Duttons go through even more challenges, which brings us to Jacob Dutton, James's brother, who steps up to take the reins. Jacob is the man who takes the Dutton family into the 20th century. He's not only a rancher, but also a protector of the legacy James built. His leadership is key to holding the Yellowstone Ranch together through economic difficulties, droughts, and rivalries. Jacob's calm but tough demeanor is exactly what the family needs after James's death. Jacob doesn't have any children. Kara, Jacob's wife, is the ultimate matriarch. She's been through so much and has had to become the backbone of the family. Kara is the one who keeps the ranch running, and despite the chaos around her, she stays strong. Who is your favorite second-generation Dutton? Let me know in the comments. Third generation. This brings us to the third generation of Duttons, John Dutton I, and, of course, Spencer Dutton. John is a more mysterious figure in the Yellowstone story. Unfortunately, we didn't get the chance to know him better, which is a shame for sure. We first meet him as a child in 1883, and later see him as an adult in 1923. John picks up where his father James left off, helping Jacob run the Yellowstone Ranch. Regrettably, he doesn't get the chance to enjoy the rewards of his hard work, as he dies young, leaving his own son to take over. But his contributions to the ranch and the family legacy aren't forgotten. After all, he is the one whom our beloved modern-day John takes his name from. Spencer, on the other hand, is a fascinating character in 1923. He's James's youngest son and a World War I veteran. Spencer's experiences in the war deeply affect him, making it hard for him to adjust to civilian life. So he finds himself in Africa, trying to avoid not only his family, but also his trauma. However, when he falls in love with Alexandra, everything changes, and one reality comes to the surface. His loyalty to the Dutton name and the ranch is unwavering. Spencer's journey isn't an easy one, but his role as a protector of the family is vital, especially when he eventually steps in to help keep the ranch secure. His story in the universe is still not over, as we are yet to welcome 1923 Season 2. Do not be surprised to find out that he has an even bigger role in the Dutton family tree than it seems now, especially with the reveal of Alexandra's pregnancy. This Dutton family tree might get a massive update. Who is your favorite third-generation Dutton? Let me know in the comments. Fourth generation. In the fourth generation, we see Jack Dutton, who is John Dutton's son, and the future of the Yellowstone Ranch seems to rest on his shoulders. Jack is tough, ready to fight for the land, and determined to carry on the family's legacy. But Jack's love story with Elizabeth Stratford complicates things. He's constantly torn between his love for her and his duty to the ranch. In 1923, we found out that they are unlikely to have children due to some complications. Up until that point, we were told that Jack was the father of John Dutton II. So, which one is true? Is Jack truly the father of John Dutton II, or did Spencer and Alexandra's son take the lineage forward? The answers are yet to be official, but the suspicions are strong for sure. Who is your favorite fourth-generation Dutton? Let me know in the comments. Fifth generation. In the fifth generation of the family, we see two influential Duttons, John Dutton II and John Dutton III. We are yet to get a prequel series for John Dutton II, but we know he will be the main character in the upcoming prequel series, 1944. Until then, all we know is that he was once the strong, silent type who helped the ranch grow. He's the father of John Dutton III, and though he isn't as prominent as his son, his influence is everywhere in the ranch. His death is pivotal because it leaves the ranch in the hands of his son, who has to take on even bigger responsibilities to protect it. John Dutton III, on the other hand, is probably the most well-known and beloved character of the entire franchise. He is the Dutton we know and love today. He's the owner of the Yellowstone Ranch in Yellowstone, and let me tell you, he's not playing around. From the very first episode, you get a sense of John's no-nonsense approach to ranching and family, mostly thanks to Kevin Costner's amazing performance. But under that hard exterior, there's a man who loves his children fiercely, even if it's complicated. He's had a tough time with his kids and has struggled with the loss of his wife, Evelyn Dutton. But John's commitment to the land is unmatched. He's also not afraid to get his hands dirty, whether that means taking on corruption or fighting enemies to protect his home. John's no-nonsense approach to ranching and family is mostly thanks to Kevin Costner's amazing performance. But under that hard exterior, There's a man who loves his children fiercely, even if it's complicated. He's had a tough time with his kids and has struggled with the loss of his wife, Evelyn Dutton. But John's commitment to the land is unmatched. He's also not afraid to get his hands dirty, whether that means taking on corrupt politicians or battling land developers. Unfortunately, as we all just watched, the last season of the original series did him very dirty by handling his death terribly. Still, his legacy is too big and strong to be damaged by bad writing. Then there is his late wife, Evelyn Dutton, who was the glue that held the Dutton family together until her tragic death in a horseback riding accident. Her death left a void that's never truly been filled, especially for Beth, who blames herself for what happened. Even though she tends to be overlooked, Evelyn's loss is a defining moment in the Dutton saga. Who is your favorite fifth-generation Dutton? Let me know in the comments. Now we come to the messiest generation of the entire Dutton saga. The sixth generation of Duttons can be defined by a mess of love, loyalty, betrayal, and drama. These kids have it all: complicated relationships, deep scars, and, of course, a connection to the land. Unfortunately, none of these features bring any good to any of them. Lee Dutton, whom you may remember from the first episode of Yellowstone, was John's eldest son, and he was supposed to be the one to carry on the legacy of Yellowstone. Unfortunately, Lee died tragically very early in the series while trying to protect the ranch. His death is a turning point for the family, especially for Case and Beth. Beth Dutton is arguably one of the most complex and intriguing characters in Yellowstone. She's tough, ambitious, and incredibly intelligent. I mean, she is the one who carries Elsa's blood, that's for sure. But we have to acknowledge that Beth's past is a web of pain, including a